This recent trade of Alex Caruso from the Chicago Bulls to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Josh Giddey is a game changer. And I already know the first thing that came to mind. The Thunder just got a steal and didn't have to give up any draft picks. For the Thunder, acquiring Caruso means getting a battle-tested defensive maestro with an NBA championship under his belt. His accolades, including 2 NBA All-Defensive Team selections and the NBA Hustle Award, highlight his ability to make an immediate impact on the defensive end. And on the offensive end, Caruso is a sniper from deep range, making the defense pay if they leave him open. The Thunder added a win-now player to a team that is ready to make a deep playoff push, but what exactly is it that Caruso will bring to this Thunder team? Well, hey, right off the top, if you've ever watched Caruso operate on the floor, you can see that he has this dog-like defense just hounding defenders, and it's anchored by his exceptional ability to read the game, which constantly disrupts opposing offenses. His quick hands and impeccable timing make him a nightmare for ball handlers, often leading to steals and deflections that can ignite fast breaks. When you look at his on-ball defense, it's just as much of a problem as he has a knack for staying in front of his man, using his agility and strength to contest shots without fouling. And last but certainly not least, his defensive versatility allows him to guard multiple positions, providing the Thunder with a valuable asset who can switch seamlessly during defensive assignments, and this adaptability is crucial in today's NBA, where defensive schemes often rely on switching to counter the offensive possession. When guards get a screen to get released from Caruso, they'll think this pass to the roller is going to lead to a bucket, but with Caruso on the prowl at all times, he swats this right out of John Collins' hands on the recover. It's these plays where it looks like your guy's going to be wide open, so you send it over the top, but when you have someone whose hands stay active, the ball pops right out of Al Horford's hands for the Bulls to go the other way. This aspect of Caruso being able to recover off screens make him an annoying pest, as here when Embiid catches deep in the paint, you would think this is a 4-short bucket, but no, it's a strip and dip. It may not seem like a game-changing skill, but trust me, this helps Caruso average 1.7 steals per game, which ranked him at number 4 this season. Take those active hands and pair with his agility on the floor, and the result is a defensive savant. You may think when you're catching in the backcourt you'll have that space to bring it up, but no, Caruso is going to speed you up while staying attached to you the whole time, and when you finally think you see some daylight, he'll close that down and shut the window. It's one thing to deal with a guy who's just in the right spot at the right time, but when you're dealing with a guy who can swiftly move on the court, he'll beat you to the spot on the court, giving you some resistance, and before you know it, the ball is no longer in your possession. Let me ask you something. How many guards do you see stopping the ball handler on the push to then release often when they pass it and perfectly swipe the ball out? Yeah, let's be for real, it's not really many, as it takes absurd eye tracking, hustle, and correct placement on the court. When you sit down and actually watch the film of Caruso, you'll notice that he's constantly scanning the offense to see where they might try to go, so once Hartenstein cuts to the rim once Dante draws baseline, Caruso sees this and immediately launches at the ball to break up this entire play. For the offense, they have to be aware that everything that glitters isn't gold, because I get it, this pass to Hardaway in the corner looks like easy money, but when you're dealing with a player that has those spidey senses, well now you end up throwing a turnover. On this inbound play here, you can see that Caruso has his head on a swivel tracking everyone's movement, so when Duncan Robinson breaks free down the middle, Caruso is able to swipe at the ball but does miss the steal attempt, and then instead of giving up, he blocks it with the opposite hand. The key to this is the ability to anticipate the play before it fully develops, because when Shai gets the screen to get away from Caruso here, Alex notices Lu Dort to slip into the basket immediately and Shai wants to pass it there, but trust and believe Caruso is 2 steps ahead at all times. As when he's guarding Beverly on this drop baseline, DeMar shifts over to help out, which makes Javon Carter have to slide down to cover Maxey, allowing Robert Covington to cut to the rim. So with all this happening, Caruso is the only one to see it playing out and releases off Beverly to prematurely jump this pass so he can run right through it when it's delivered. You might not realize that this screen is being set so Tobias can have the mismatch down low on Kobe White, but Alex Caruso has seen this many times and leaves Batum in the corner to make a play on the ball when it's sent down low. For OKC, it'll be nice to have a guy like this who can save plays on the back end and pick off passes to guys on the open floor, but what really takes things over the top is that he can lock down guys one-on-one and blow up actions constantly. I'm not saying that guys on OKC can't hold their own, but with someone like Alex Caruso who has seen many offensive schemes and understands other players' tendencies, he can be that anchor that brings his defense up a notch. Teams like to search for these mismatches assuming that it'll be instant offense, but Caruso is strong enough to absorb bumps and quick enough to pick your pockets, so this doesn't really work out. Like, I'm being serious, you put him down there with a big like Bam Adebayo, and Caruso will still stand his ground, just showing you that his defensive instincts are stronger than your offensive bag. Basically, you need to be careful with the ball when Caruso is in front of you, because he'll constantly hound you while you're trying to operate, and the longer you keep trying to create space opens up a bigger window for Caruso to force a turnover. It's truly scary when you know there's a guy on the opposite team who can match up with guys 1 through 4 and hold his own, and even if he isn't on the ball directly, he can cause players to alter everything they do. Key example, when Trey comes off this Capella screen, they like to throw this lob, so Caruso is able to get low enough to take that pass away, but since he has absurd recovery skills, Caruso gets a great contest on the shot when it's passed out, which results in a miss. Once again on this play, Caruso is in position to pick off a pass to Luke Cornett if Peyton tries to throw it over, so when it's swung back out, Caruso can get out quickly, which makes Sam Hauser not even look at the basket and swing it instead. So now when Delano puts it on the deck, Caruso can show great help to make him pass it back out to Hauser, get all the way out there to get a hand up, and it's a miss off the back of the rim. When you look at OKC, their best one-on-one switch defender is Lou Dort, who causes guys a lot of problems when they get on his island, so just think about adding someone who can do all the same thing as Dort and even more defensively. When you look at Lou Dort, he has more of an aggressive defensive nature, while Caruso gives off more of a snake-like approach, but regardless, when you put them on the court at the same time, it's gonna make opposing defenses crumble. If you think about it even further, they could choose to stagger Dort and Caruso's minutes as well throughout the game, so now at any given time on the court, they will have one of the best defensive players in the league on the floor. So yeah, talk about scary, right? And the thing is, it doesn't even stop there. I know if you look at his averages of 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, it could seem underwhelming. But when you notice that Caruso sinks 40% of his 4 3-point attempts per game, it'll make your eyes light up. With guys like Shea and J-Dub who love to push to the rack and generate help, having another lights out shooter from deep is going to make them even more deadly. If you leave him open for even the slightest moment, he's going to bear it right over you. If you make any mistake on the defensive end, he will expose you. And at any time in the game, he will put his body on the line. Caruso adds another level of intensity and a dog-like energy to this OKC team, and with another solid piece added, things should be interesting for them going forward. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.